Welcome in, everyone. Time for a women's basketball preview. We've got head coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton with us. Coach, I know you're ready to get going here, but you've got a lot of new faces. We were talking with the men. I think they've got 12. You've got more.
Yeah, we've got 13 new faces, only one returner from last year's team, Carmen Jones. But super excited about this group. 7 freshmen, 6 transfers, and then Carmen makes up a good squad.
I know we're going to know some of the names, even though they're new faces to us, and we'll talk with a few of them, but you've got a few in-conference transfers.
Yeah, we're super excited about those in-conference transfers. You know, I mean, that used to be something that we could not dabble in before the new rules and this transfer portal kind of realignment and re-ruling of it, right? And so now we can go after conference players. And so when those good players jump in the portal, we try to get on them pretty quick. And we've got 2 on our roster that are going to do some really good work for us.
Did you have to do those name tags? Hello, my name?
Yeah, right.
How long does it kind of take to get, I mean, this is new, kind of the way it is, though, in college basketball now. How long does it take to get a new group of players together?
Well, the challenge for us in Division II is that we don't get to touch our players in the summer. So when they get here at the end of August is the first time they actually see each other face to face and get to shake hands. So for us, that team building, the team chemistry stuff is highly important early in the year, because now even with the one and done transfers, which we have 3 on our team this year, is that they don't get a full year, right? I mean, it's really 6 months with us and then they're walking out the door. So for us as coaches, we've got to get our team playing well within a 3-month period of meeting face to face. And so that's the bigger challenge on our end.
Who will the fans want to be looking at as far as the new faces? Because they're all new except for...
Yeah, they're all new, right? So the fans will see a lot of new faces, but I think they're going to love the team that we're bringing in. The 2 players they should be familiar with that are coming from conference teams is Isabel Grimes. She was able to, be a very high contributor for Montevallo last year. And then we've got Amelia Bell from Mississippi College, who was their strong post player that, gave the conference a lot of problems. And so those 2 faces will look familiar, although they're going to be in Argo uniforms this year. And then we've got some great freshmen that we're working towards, getting into some rotations, making some good things work. But that nucleus of transfers is going to be very important for us to allow those freshmen a little bit more time to develop and really play at a high level.
It's always nice when you've seen those players on other teams and they're a pain in the butt and they're giving you fits, and then all of a sudden now they're on your squad.
That's exactly how we recruit sometimes. We walk away from the games going, we need someone exactly like her.
So go
and,
get it.
And then her name pops in the transfer portal and it's like, here we go. Yeah.
Now the schedule, you always like to play some tough games early, some crossovers, but I did notice, I looked and I'm trying to figure out how I can plan my travel, but you're going to Puerto Rico.
Man, we have got some great games on our schedule this year. You mentioned the conference crossover. Those 2 games against Palm Beach Atlantic and Eckerd College are hugely important. I mean, as you recall from last season, it was the NCAA basketball committee were comparing us and Eckerd College for that last at-large bid in the NCAA tournament. And we got the nod because we beat Eckerd in the first game of the season last year. I mean, that's how important these games are. So those 2 are highly important. But then we come back and we've got Tuskegee at home, which will be a good opponent. And then we go to that WBCA showcase in Orlando to play Central Missouri, who won the national tournament a few years ago. And then you mentioned the trip to Puerto Rico, which was on the slate before we signed the contract with the showcase. But when we could stack those games together, it was a really surprising, good schedule for us this year and challenging.
Always good to get tested early. Let's take a chance and talk to those 2 players that you mentioned. How does it feel to be this close to the season? What's the atmosphere like with the team right now?
It's really exciting. All of us have been working so hard in our summer workouts or our postseason, like from where me and Millie came from. We had a postseason, so we've been working out and preparing ourselves for the season. And, the closer the game gets, like the more exciting, the more adrenaline, and the more competitive practices get too, because we know like we're all wanting to win a conference championship, and the only way to do that is just to compete in practices. And so that's something that we're doing right now.
I think we all are really excited to play with each other. The team chemistry on this team is better than any team I've ever been a part of. So I think we're just ready to get out there and play with each other, but also for each other.
What's the goal for this team? What are the goals?
The goals for this team, well, obviously to win a conference championship. That's first and foremost. And that not just to end there, like I want to continue, I want to go further than just a conference championship. I think this team has the pieces to put together to reach these goals and to go even further than anyone may expect.
Yeah, it's definitely a conference championship, but I also really want to make a deep run into the NCAA tournament because I think we have all the right pieces to do that.
Coach, you guys were 20 wins last season, I think 15-7 in the conference. Picked to be in the top 4 this year. That's kind of always want to make that tournament first and then try to get in that NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, it is, again, a challenging non-conference schedule, but when we get to that conference play, I think the GSC is really leveled up. We always tell recruits that this is the ACC, SEC of Division II women's basketball. And I do think there's a lot of schools that have really elevated their recruiting. They've elevated how they're playing. And our conference is a no joke, night in and night out. So again, but that's what we sign up for, right? I mean, that pressure. We want the competition. And we want players on our roster that want to carry that pressure.
Got a lot of games on the road early, but there's a 10:30 game where you're going to have some school kids in, I think, coming up on the 18th with Tuskegee. And then there's a stretch, where you're going to have a bunch of home games in a row before Christmas.
Yeah, we start the season 7 games in I think 17 days. And then we start in December with a lot of home games. One thing our fans should really mark on their calendar is December 1st. Bubba 33s is hosting ourselves and our men's basketball program at their restaurant from 5 to 8 p.m. It's a great chance to bring your family to come shake hands with the Argos, take some pictures, get some prizes, and also a good excuse not to cook dinner that night.
So that's a pro. You plug your sponsors and get it in there. Coach, good luck to you guys this season. You can always follow them. Go Argos.com. Take a look at that schedule. Look at that roster because, they used to joke, you can't tell the players about a program. It may be more true than it's ever been before, so go there. Also follow them across social media on the different platforms. And we'll leave it with an always, go Argos.